परम पवित्र भगवध्वज, the Great India Festival President, Mananiya Balaji, Shri Dr. Gyandev Maharaj, and to all the divine souls present here today. Namaste. It is truly an honor to be here present in this beautiful venue, in this beautiful city of Ottawa, filled with so much young talent, filled with so much enthusiasm, positive energy. Newsflash, I will not be singing, if you haven't figured that out by now. But what I have been requested to do here is to share some information about an organization which I have been part of since the age of 10 years old. An organization that is deeply rooted not just in Canada, but across 55 countries around the world. An organization not just known for its events, but rather discipline and commitment to bringing the entire Hindu Samaj together, where its members are called Swayamsevak Sevikas. We meet 90 minutes every single week, 52 times a year, and do all types of various activities. All three classification of activities, which is spiritual, physical and intellectual. Spiritual meaning Yogasana, Pranayam, Surya Namaskar. Physical, where we play kabaddi, kho-kho. We learn how to march together, learn self-defense. And intellectual. We sing patriotic geets, songs. We have various discussions on different topics around the world that impact Hindus as well. The name of this organization, as introduced, is called Hindu Swayamsevak Sangha Canada, or more broadly known as Sangha. And the sole purpose of this organization is to do three things. That is to promote, preserve and protect. The three P's we call it. That is promote the samskars of Bharat, preserve the Vedic practices and protect Hindu Dharma. Not just Hindu samskars, Hindu teachings, Hindu values, but Canadian ones as well. And there are many of them. Us Hindus living in Canada, we should not just call ourselves Hindus, we should call ourselves Canadian Hindus. Proud Canadian Hindus. And the need for this identity is more than ever. HSS Canada has led many कार्यक्रams, annual कार्यक्रams, for example, the Diwali food drive, the Hindu Darshan exhibitions, you see the posters around. Those posters are across Canada, especially shown during the Hindu Heritage Month. We also adopt roads across provinces where we clean those roads. Every Raksha Bandhan, we go to police stations, fire stations, we tie Rakhis to them to show our appreciation for the work, service and protection that they do. Today, when we say the word Sangha, it is popular not only in Bharat but outside of Bharat as well. I'm sure many of you have at least heard of the word Sangha before. Even to our opponents, and I will use that word very lightly, they have understood that Sangha has become the most meaningful, the most instrumental organization in not just uniting the Hindus, but awakening the Hindus. However, to understand Sangha, we must first understand the founder of Sangha. Without understanding the founder of Sangha, it is difficult to understand the reason why Sangha began. His name was Dr. Keshav Baliram Hegdewar, or in Sangha we call him Dr. Ji. He was born on the auspicious day of Chaitra Shuddha Pratipada, or Varsha Pratipada of April 1st of 1889. Now at that time, what was happening in Bharat? Anyone know? 1889. the British rule. So the talks of Swatantrata, freedom, was going around across the nation. Raja Bhosle was the name of the ruler before the British came in Nagpur. How his kingdom was snatched, the talks of that was also going around. So Keshav, being surrounded by constant thoughts, constant actions, constant planning of this one idea, and this one idea only, which was Swatantrata, we call him a Janma Jata Deshbhakt, or a born patriot. At the age of 8, the celebration of the 60th anniversary of the coronation of Queen of England was happening in Bharat. And of course, being a British state, it was being celebrated across the country. Government offices, banks, schools. Similarly, in Keshav's school, laddus were being distributed, sweets. So as soon as Keshav got this laddu from his teacher, he threw away in the garbage. And so the teacher asked that, hey Keshav, you don't like sweets? And the response that this boy gives, remember at the age of 8 years old, is profound, is unheard of. He says, how can we be happy? How can we consider this day of celebration when my own motherland is being ruled over? When my own people are being ruled over, how can this day of celebration, it should be a day of sorrow. It should be a day of mourn. This is the thought process this boy in the grade 3 he had. Now by the early 1920s, Dr. G had tried many things. He had tried to join many political parties, movements, protests, rallies. But he quickly realized that none of these methods will work long term. Because none of these methods were addressing the root cause. How can a handful of Britishers, how can a handful of foreigners come into our country and rule this beautiful nation? The issue, the root cause, was lack of Hindu unity, Hindu Sangathan. And so, abandoning all the methods he had tried, he thought of a new, simple, but a very effective methodology from his own personal experience, which he termed Shakha. He saw in this method of daily discipline programs, a program which would inculcate the samskars, character molding samskars. The main point of this daily shakha or weekly shakha was to inculcate this habit of devoting some time to the nation, to the society. We live in a society, but what do we do for the society was the question. So on the auspicious day of Vijayadashmi of 1925, he decided to gather some yuvas, play some kabaddi, and declared Sangha by saying, today we are starting Sangha. And the rest is history. When we visit different homes, even now, to do sampark, to do reaching out to families, they sometimes ask us, what will I get if I join Shakha? Humko kya milega? And sometimes we frankly say, आपको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. You will not get anything. और आपके पास जो है वो भी चला जाएगा. हिम्मत है तो आओ. Sangha is the work of destroying one's ego and devoting itself, surrendering itself for the work of the society, the entire Hindu society. We are in the business of people. We are not in the business of division. We don't want to create a Marathi Sangathan or a Gujarati Sangathan or a Telugu Sangathan. We want to create one Sangathan, that is the Hindu Sangathan. It was because of Dr. G's vision, Dr. G's drive, Dr. G's determination, Dr. G's Sankalp. Sankalpa meaning powerful, good intentions, pure intentions. This inner drive, not just the New Year resolutions that we will make in a few weeks, but sincere intentions, something we want to achieve sincerely, deeply, honestly. That is the power of Sankalpa, where we have the power to transform and transcend. In wars, there is something called prisoners of wars, where they are basically soldiers, but they are kept in the enemy territory up till the end of the war. So during the Holocaust, I was reading, there are many people who were tortured, who were aggressively beaten up, both mentally and physically. They were in inhumane conditions. But they had decided that I will not be a victim. I will somehow survive. Why? Because of this power of Sankalpa. They said that I still want to contribute. I still want to leave a mark on this planet. And that's why they escaped. The power of Sankalpa. Otherwise, how can you explain Stephen Hawking, who was diagnosed with ALS at the age of 21 years old, but became one of the greatest scientists the world has ever seen, passed away at the age of 76. He contributed in physics, astrophysics, science. What else can explain other than the power of Sankalpa? But there is also this idea of collective Sankalpa, something we as Canadian Hindus, each one of us need to make, need to reflect, need to retrospect, and come up with a plan collectively that how can we make an impact on this beautiful country we call home. And hence our collective Sankalpa has to be sincere, focused, arrived at through this process of coming together. But what is coming together? It is not, right now we're also together, right? That is not togetherness. Togetherness has to elevate to connectedness. Do we feel connected? From connectedness, we have to go to oneness. From togetherness to connectedness to oneness. That is our collective Sankalpa. You see, we have great values, no doubt. It is mentioned again and again that we believe in Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Who has heard of this shloka or this phrase before? Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. Yes, that is true. And it is said in various ways in the Vedas, Upanishads. It is also appears in the Hitopadeshas. Anyone know Hitopadeshas? Hitopadesha, Panchatantra. Basically, childhood stories. But when we go back and read these stories, we can say, hey, these are stories I can also relate to. These are stories I can also learn from. So in there, the particular phrase, Vasudeva Kutumbakam is mentioned. In fact, the entire shloka is mentioned. It is Ayam Nijah Paroveti Garuna Lagu Chetasam Udaratarijanam Tu Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That this is mine and that is yours. It appears in the narrow-minded person. To the broad-minded person, the entire world is one family. In one particular story, an old lion sitting at his den, a rabbit walks by and he tells the rabbit that, hey, can you come close? I'm lonely, I'm old, I'm slow. Can you come close to me? And the rabbit naturally, instinctively, he obviously keeps his distance. And the lion sees a golden bracelet, Suvarna Kankan, he calls it. The lion says, can I see that? Can you come closer? I want to see what you have in your hand. Again, the rabbit is saying, no, this is mine. I will not give it to you. The lion says, I am Nijah Paroveti Garuna Lagu Chetasam Udaratarijanantu Vasudeva Kutumbakam. How can you say it's yours? We are all part of the one family. We all live in the same forest. Come close to me, give me the bracelet. And the rabbit, being innocent, goes closer. The lion snatches the bracelet, also palms on the rabbit, and so forth. Another story. There's a crow. A story of a wild fox and a deer. But the deer has a smart crow, a crow friend. And the crow is warning him that don't go close to that fox. It's a wild fox. He does not belong in this forest. He is not our friend. And that deer, and that fox is saying, again, what is he saying? I am Nijah Paroveti Yama Lagu Chetasam Udaratarijanam Tu Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Why are you trying to divide us? Why are you trying to spread hate? Don't do that. He tells the grow. The point is, why is the Hitopadesha stories giving this Vasudeva Kutumbakam shloka in the mouth of negative characters who are trying to harm people, who are trying to trick people? Are the writers trying to say, don't believe in Vasudeva Kutumbakam? No, that is not what they are saying. They are saying that even though we believe in Vasudeva Kutumbakam, doesn't mean everybody believes in Vasudeva Kutumbakam. So be aware, watch out of those who want to use your values against you. So the protect part, as I mentioned, that is protecting the dharma. Dharmo rakshati rakshadaham was said in the Mahabharata. I'm sure in the recent development, we have seen the whole Khalistani movement as well, how they're strategically targeting Hindus, vandalizing temples, forcing us to leave, threatening us to leave. This should be spoke about more widely. We should bring this up in conversations at work, with our co-workers, at schools, with friends, with our teachers, with local MPs. We should make this an issue. Because what the Canadian society is failing to realize is this is not a threat to Hindus only, but it is a threat to Canada. It is a threat to Canadians. Recently, we are also noticing that they are also declaring HSS as a violent militant organization. Maybe few of you have read the reports. Sangha will manage and frankly not bothered by these threats, these anti-Sangha threats. But we will not tolerate anti-Hindu threats. That much we are clear on. But this has to be a team effort. We cannot just be content by sharing WhatsApp videos, forwarding WhatsApp videos, signing random petitions. We have to do work at the ground level. We have to join movements, join organizations which match your values, that you can connect with. We need to figure this out. And how can each one of us, how can each organization come together, agree upon a common goal, walk together while maintaining a healthy distance? And no doubt there will be challenges, no doubt there will be people we have to work with that we have never worked with. In this whole fight against the Khalistani movement, we must also not forget about the Sikh brothers and sisters who are actually against this as well. Can we work with them as well? Can we protect them as well? Not just the Sikhs, but the entire Sanatan society. We have to work with the Bangladeshi Hindus, Nepali Hindus, Kashmiri Pandits, also non-Hindus and non-Bharatiyas, as long as they are also willing to walk on this path of dharma, on this path of righteousness. So let's all come together, walk on this path of dharma, and elevate this society, this Hindu society, the Canadian Hindu society, from togetherness to connectedness to oneness. And as Swami Vivekananda ji said, stop not till the goal is reached. Namaste.